Okay, Marquise, what do you have for me?
All right. It's time to get these monkey fighting snakes off this Monday to Friday plane. Everybody strap in. We're about to start the podcast.
That might have just been a federal offense. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of I Finally Saw, where today I finally saw snakes on a plane. Well, hello and welcome, everybody, to once again another episode of I Finally Saw. I am joined once again by Marquise.
What's up, guys?
I am joined by Dayton.
Sup?
And a new friend joining us here in the recording session, we have Ember.
Hello.
I like the Invest in Keyscoin shirt. That's
It's this new crypto. It's blowing up. You should really get on the train early. This isn't a dead meme from like 2 years ago now. Shut up.
Invest in Keyscoin, guys.
I have a little bit of an introductory question that I like to ask everybody the first time they're on the show. So I'm going to throw that over to you now. And so that question, as always, is what is one movie, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your favorite movie ever, but what is one movie right now that you feel like you could just kind of endlessly watch over and over and over again?
I think it's really got to be Snakes on a Plane. It just really captures.
Oh, wow.
One's imagination so beautifully.
Wow. What a wonderful coincidence.
Yeah. I totally didn't watch it for the first time a few days ago.
Oh, well, speaking of Snakes on a Plane, this movie makes me want to die.
Yeah?
No. That's not the
That feels like
transition.
a really harsh reaction.
That's not the transition. But speaking of Snakes on a Plane, we're going to go ahead and transition it over. So I'm going to introduce the movie a little bit, as always, with this little snippet that I have stolen from Google because I am too lazy to write anything myself. Snakes on a Plane is a 2006 American action thriller directed by David R. Ellis. FBI agent Nelville Flynn, played by Samuel L. Jackson, boards a flight from Hawaii to Los Angeles, escorting a witness to trial. An onboard assassin releases a crate of deadly serpents in an attempt to kill the witness. Flynn and a host of frightened passengers and crew must band together to survive the slithery threat.
I have had it with these snakes on this plane.
Before we get into general thoughts and feelings about the movie, I want to ask the Peanut Gallery here what their level of familiarity was. So I'll start with Dayton. How familiar were you with Snakes on a Plane?
I mean, it's the same way everyone was. It's the line from Samuel L. Jackson. I think it'd be best if Marquise was to say the quote.
Can we run the clip again?
Yeah. You want to give it another shot, Marquise?
I'll do the R-rated version this time.
Oh boy.
Get these motherfucking snakes off this motherfucking plane. Everybody strap in. We're about to open some windows.
That wasn't the quote, but good job.
Yeah.
You know what, Dan?
Close enough.
Who cares?
It's not get
It's close
them off
enough.
the plane. It said I'm sick of them on this plane, Marquise. People are going to call us hack frauds. Speaking of Marquise, how familiar are you with this movie?
I knew of it. It's an infamous movie. To be quite frank.
That's one way to put it.
But I'd never seen it before. I just knew there were snakes on the plane, and Samuel L. Jackson were sick of these snakes. But this is my first time watching it. I put my film cap on and I had to take it right back off. to properly enjoy this movie, I don't think you can have your film cap on for this one.
Much like Dayton, I really only knew about the one line, and that's the only footage I had genuinely seen. If I have seen any other footage over the years, I blocked it out for my memory or anything until seeing it again, or not seeing it again because I don't think I've ever seen it. Period. Yeah, no, it's really really bad. I can tell that it would be a good watch if I got drunk with friends and we were just tearing into it. Though, it's one of those you cannot earnestly watch Snakes on a Plane.
Well, we'll get into it. Again, speaking for myself, I might be the only person on the panel who had actually seen this movie prior to prepping for it, which is maybe also like a
I'm
first for
so
this
sorry
show.
for your loss.
I want to say I watched it for the first time a couple of years ago when I was actually workshopping this podcast, and I didn't really know what I expected. Like pretty much everybody ever, the only thing I knew about the movie was the title, and if you know the title, you know the premise, and that one line of dialogue. So I really wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, is this movie ironic? Is it a mockbuster or something? I really wasn't sure, and so yeah, that was a peculiar experience to just have like pretty much everything and nothing to go off of with this movie.
Imagine your greatest fears, the ones that paralyze you, the ones that render you helpless. Now imagine them all at once.
But with that being said, I guess we're going to go ahead and transition a little bit into a bit of a history lesson here, because I know, Dayton, I think you had some background for this movie you wanted to share with us, right?
So this movie was like created by this guy from a University of Pittsburgh, and he made this story. There was a real incident where Indonesian tree snakes got onto cargo during World War II. This movie went through a lot of stuff since it was the idea came up in 1992, and the movie released 2006. And through that period, it would just get revised a bunch, ultimately being passed to this Hong Kong director named Ronnie Yu. And Ronnie Yu was able to get Samuel L. Jackson to sign on without Samuel L. Jackson even reading the script, because Samuel L. Jackson himself said the title of this movie reminded me of the B movies I'd watch in like theaters and why I love movies. So even whenever they were trying to change the title of this movie from Snakes on a Plane into a Pacific Airline Flight 121, he said, like, no, you can't do that, because that's the reason I came for this movie was Snakes on a Plane. It was a movie that had a lot of hype before it got released. And it was a lot of it was because of the title and because trailers would show the one line, "I've had it with the motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane." That was actually like it was a huge meme at the time. It was a huge meme online of this entire movie because people thought the title was funny. They'd make a bunch of parodies about it. It was just a lot of hype behind it because of everyone was joking about the movie. But surprisingly, the movie did not meet the expectations that the studio wanted, because there was so much hype for this movie, but it only made back up like a little less than double its budget, which they considered a flop.
So it's almost like a precursor to Morbius or something then, right?
Imagine if the audiences had bullied the studio into re-releasing this in theaters. That would have been insane.
Originally, this movie was intended to be PG-13. So in the original trailer for the movie, Samuel L. Jackson says, "monkey fighting snakes off this Monday to Friday plane," right? And so someone made a parody where he actually just says "motherfucker," and so that got really popular. And because of that, they decided to do some reshoots and make it an actually R-rated movie, which I find really intriguing because, like, I don't get why. I don't think anything R-rated about this movie makes it better besides him saying "motherfucker."
Samuel Jackson said, like, people will criticize him for the fact that it was lowbrow, and it's like, why is Samuel Jackson doing something like this? He just said he wanted to make a fun movie, nothing high art. He wanted to distract people from all the bad stuff in the world.
Well, this movie is certainly distracting. I think that's one way to put it. There's a very particular question that I want to answer because everybody knows the meme and the line, right? And so the question is, does this movie have anything genuinely to offer besides that one moment and thinking about the title, by extension the premise, and being like, oh, that's a funny thought? Does this movie offer anything substantive beyond that?
I would like to kick this discussion off. I think no. Again, outside of the context of getting together with friends and just dogpiling on this really bad movie. Because that's the only way that I know that I would be able to genuinely get any enjoyment out of it. Outside, like, that one line and the delivery that Samuel L. Jackson had is really the highlight of the whole thing, and everything else is just not there.
Well, okay, so we have so many. Okay, let's back up a little bit because we got to go through all of our characters. We have Guy, we have Samuel L. Jackson. There's Flight Attendant 1, Flight Attendant 2, Old Flight Attendant, Gay Panic Flight Attendant.
I found it so weird that he was gay coded, and then they like undid the gay coding by making him say that he has a girlfriend.
That's the joke. That's the whole payoff of the movie.
What's the joke? Is that he's not gay?
Yeah,
How long do you
I
think?
didn't think it was a good joke.
Marquise, how long do you think it took him to come up with that one? How long was that one stewing in the crock pot?
At least
I
1
don't-
year
I don't
of the
know.
14 years.
No, but there's Kid 1, there's Kid 2, and we have Lady with Baby, and then also Lady with Dog.
We
Fat
have Mean
Lady,
Man that does a
Yeah.
thing with that
like
lady's
Australian,
dog later
yeah,
in the
like
movie. I'm not
Australian
gonna
business
spoil
guy,
it.
yeah, Australian business guy, rapper dude, Triple G or Triple, yeah, Keenan from SNL,
Oh yeah, I felt like I was going insane seeing him.
and then Todd Packer from The Office. You know, we have,
Yeah.
and they all have their little arcs. You know, the lady is like, I love my dog, and then her dog dies. We have.
Oh, I guess we're in spoilers now, huh?
Sure. Spoilers for Snakes
I
on
think
a
you have-
Plane. If you haven't seen it in the
Hey, this is
almost
a
20 years, since it's
19
been
years.
out. Almost 20 years now since this movie's coming out. If you haven't seen Snakes on a Plane, spoilers. There's snakes on the plane. Oh, there's Kickboxer guy
Oh yeah.
who does like, and that only ever comes into play. That never really comes into. I thought like when I first saw this, I was like, is he gonna kickbox like an anaconda or something? And that never. He piggybacks one lady, and that's all he does the entire movie.
No, he
Yeah.
punches a snake. He punches one snake to save a lady.
Yeah, the
That's
same
like
lady
kickboxing.
that piggybacked on him.
They
Yeah.
need to. They needed fewer, like, I guess, main characters, so to speak, if you want to call it that. Like the rap
Are we
artist.
trying to
I
fix
already forgot the
Snakes on a
name. I know
Plane?
you just. I'm gonna try. Damn it.
His name is Triple G. Okay. He's trying to because there's the music and the business, and there's the music business, and he's really trying to put the business back in the music, okay, or something like that.
Look, I think if you condense Triple G with the Australian businessman that throws that lady's dog, that could go on ahead and become like a more complete character
Sure.
instead of having it be two separate people, and you still get the payoff of having having just the one asshole get eaten by a snake, as opposed to only half of the assholes getting eaten by the snake.
Oh, and then I forgot. There's married couple with that, which includes guy who's nervous to get on plane, and then couple two who get frisky in the bathroom.
And the first one's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have lots of characters.
2 notes on that. The guy that's nervous to get on the plane, his only like purpose, plot wise anyways, was identifying that there's a weird smell that is later confirmed to be the pheromones. There's nothing else.
It's not. I don't. Is it? No. It's confirmed that there were pheromones. That's what I think. A lot of like the plot points in this movie are out of order. So like they tell you there are pheromones on the plane when because he's spraying the lays, and then the dude's like, there's this really weird smell on the plane, and then they have it again at the end where it's like, this is where the weird smell was coming from, guys. As if the audience didn't already know.
It was beyond obvious. We didn't need the extra layer of confirmation. We had the scene of them like spraying the lays. We had the guy saying like there's a weird smell. We had them like theorizing that that pheromones had been sprayed. We didn't need a fourth thing of the pheromones. They could have left it at that. Oh no, sorry. Then they also had the snake expert in the car saying, "Oh yeah, it's probably pheromones."
Yeah.
The B plot with the snake expert.
I would forget about on the ground FBI agent.
Yeah, and then the bald,
too many
and then bald,
characters.
and then Samuel L. Jackson's sidekick, his bald sidekick, right? Well, you know,
Oh,
and
yeah,
here's the
that
funny
does
thing.
nothing.
There's the funny thing, but he's scared. No, he has a character arc. Remember, he's scared of snakes, and then he gets killed by one. And you know the funny thing? Well, here's like the funny thing is that like the guy who's scared of flying, he dies. Him and his wife die because he loved his wife. If you think about it, his wife was like, I really want to go. His wife really wanted to go to Hawaii for their honeymoon, and because he loves his wife, he puts aside his fear to go to Hawaii for their honeymoon, and then they end up getting killed because they're pinned by the snack cart. What does
That
that
tells
tell
me
you?
you should not make sacrifices for loved ones. I think that's the moral of that mini arc. Don't make sacrifices. Give in to fear always.
I find it funny that they just it felt like the main character, the witness, was forced to be the kind of I think Samuel Jackson is the main character, but like for some reason the movie makes you try to think that PlayStation 3 protagonist is the main character.
Is Keenan a
But, like-
PlayStation 2 protagonist because that's what he played the flight simulator on?
Oh, there's so much I want to get to about like the in-tweet jokes about this movie, right? But there's one really important question I have for you guys, and it's like, do we think that this movie is making a genuine attempt at being a film, or do we think it's like it's really it's just supposed to be like a spoof movie?
I think
Because,
Dayton
like-
has an answer.
Like so much. Because I'm gonna get to Dayton. I see your hand. But no, because like so much discourse online is like, guys, I don't know why you're taking this movie seriously. The title is Snakes on a Plane. If you go watch this movie, you know what you're getting into, and it's like, yeah, sure. But then the movie like tries to have like a genuine plot, and it's failing at it. If this movie,
Okay.
no, because if this movie was literally just where they're on a plane and there's snakes, and that's all, I've been like, okay, maybe. But no, they try to give you an explanation of why there's snakes on a plane. There's so much like drama driving. Oh, the plane's falling. We gotta get it back up. Oh, there's snakes all over this plane. People are dying. They're trying to give you like emotional attachments to characters in this movie, and so it's like, no, it's not. It's not just. I don't think this is just like, oh, haha, snakes are on a plane. No, I think it's making a genuine attempt at actually trying to be something and sucking at that.
I think this movie broke Marquise.
This is just my observation from what I've seen and how the movie was. This movie was trying to be not the movie, but it's supposed to be the other movie. You know what I mean? The B movie. It's supposed to be unique. I think this movie is a representation of what is missing in Hollywood right now. It's constant blockbusters. Come on, give me the little shitty movie with the weird title. Come on, I want that. And I know they're not good movies. They're not. But they are simply there to be mindless entertainment. And at least that is something compared to these movies that actively push a corporate no soul. At least this one is trying to it's trying to bring in the fun that is not like me. I hate. I don't know what I'm saying.
He's getting pissed off.
I think I've lost my point. I think I've lost my point.
That's true.
And you know what?
That's true, because movie spelled backwards is fun. And
Yeah.
like this is what we're talking about here is like a
This is not a film. It's a movie.
B movie. Some might even say it's a popcorn movie, right? And
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. But like, okay. Because here's my thing, Marquise, is that this movie has clearly upset you to a visceral degree. But let me ask you something,
He's
right?
so
Let me
chill
ask
right
you
now.
something.
Mhm.
Would you say this movie delivers on its intentions?
I think I don't understand its intentions.
Its intentions are putting snakes on the plane. Because you're taking. Here's what I don't understand is you're acting like those snakes should have just materialized on the plane. And as an audience, I actually appreciate that they took the effort because they didn't assume that I would just be like, well, of course there would be snakes on a plane. They took the time to craft an explanation for that, and they
That means they're making a genuine attempt at rationalizing this stupid ass movie.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It feels like if you took the movie Airplane with
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool. I did. But then you try to inject it with some like amount of like earnest writing or something. It's kind of sprinkled throughout here and there, instead of just letting it be dumb schlocky fun. and that doesn't like they clash fundamentally. They don't work together.
That's what I'm saying. Like it genuinely tries to tug at your emotions. It does that.
You mean like the you mean like the heartthrob romance between Samuel L. Jackson and flight attendant lady that didn't tug at your heartstrings?
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, she's gonna be a lawyer. She's gonna be a lawyer.
I will say I did not feel anything for the other romance between the witness and I think it was the blonde flight attendant. They had no chemistry whatsoever, and I found it really funny that they were trying to push that.
I legitimately think they were just trying to give the witness guy anything because they were
Yes.
like, Samuel Jackson.
Otherwise, he had
Only one
nothing
people want to see
until
it.
the end of the movie. He would have genuinely had nothing.
It's the thing is that with this premise, you write that character into a hole because like the whole like obviously every movie ever hinges on your main character not dying to some degree. Like every popcorn movie ever hinges on that fact, but this movie especially hinges on the idea that like because he is a witness, you cannot even so much as risk his life. Like in some movies, you could be like, "Oh, we're gonna risk our life because." Like maybe this is a shot at doing the right thing. I mean, like he does technically, but it's like for the first half of the movie, he can't really at all be proactive because the situation hasn't gotten to a point where like they're gonna be comfortable risking him.
Here's the thing. That makes for a boring protagonist if you want to consider witness guy number 387 our protagonist.
Oh no, I agree.
Because he's just sitting there for like... It was an hour and 40 some odd minutes for the runtime, and I don't think he actually got up off of his ass from the first class area until like an hour and 10 minutes
But
in.
listen,
when he
so
finally
there's
like
this
disobeyed
motif throughout the
Samuel.
movie. There's a motif throughout the movie, and it's very subtle. But Samuel L. Jackson keeps reiterating the first thing that he said to him when they met. So it's a very subtle motif, and he was listening.
I'm waiting for Dayton to turn
Samuel
off
L.
that
Jackson.
just hear a shatter.
Dayton's bouncing his glass bottle.
I'm sorry.
Do you see something like this?
I disagree because I think it was aiming for something along the lines of The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser. That is now that we're like having this discussion and I've thought about it a little bit more, I think that's kind of what they were aiming for, where it was a good mix of like dumb schlocky fun, but also like this is just a good movie, like unironically, and they didn't strike the balance like that did.
Do you think this movie needed more snakes?
I think this movie needed more snakes that were inexplicably trained to attack plane wiring.
Bro!
I felt like I was going insane seeing that the first time, and then they kept doing it.
Listen. Besides the fact that snakes don't attack unless provoked, the pheromones, sure, whatever. Why are they specifically trained to go at people's necks like a fucking vampire? I saw like
or
20
dicks, or dicks, or eye.
It's just like why did that one snake just snap at the wiring for no reason?
Well, it's
Like,
because
I
they
don't-
explain it in the movie, Marquise. It's the pheromones.
Also, guys, PSA, a public service announcement. Snakes are not poisonous. They are venomous. These
Marquise, I don't know what
snakes.
you're talking about. The snake expert guy said they were venomous, so they're venomous.
What?
I kept expecting there to be a joke about that in the movie, where like, because Samuel L. Jackson keeps saying that snakes are poisonous, and then the snake expert guy is like, "We need the anti-venom. We need to get the anti-venom." I kept expecting there to be a joke where he was like, actually, Samuel L. Jackson, snakes are not poisonous, they're venomous," and he was going to be like, "Man, we got people dying here." Like,
Yeah, something like that.
I kept expecting
Never
that or
happened.
something.
I love that there was
Speaking of-
just an anaconda. I love that there was just an anaconda.
Yeah, and he ate the evil ball
Not a
guy.
venomous snake. It's just an anaconda there. Doesn't.
Your
I'm
guys'
like, what the f is moving up in the lighting? And then it just crashes down. I'm like, okay, we have an anaconda here.
Yeah, it got
I
into the
still-
lights.
You know what that's called? Monkeys. I need you to specifically listen. You know what that's called? It's called 2000s Hollywood magic. Called box office gold. And it was your fault it failed.
You know what
Your
I
fault.
love?
I was shocked there was a music video at the end.
Oh, that okay.
Yes.
Saw it through the music video.
I was going insane whenever I recognized. I have him in my notes. Hang on. But
Why were they?
it would help if I had better handwriting.
In that music video. Why were they doing this like that? Why were they? What?
What's
Why
going
were
on?
they doing that? In the music video, the whole thing was the scheme of how they were going to get snakes on a plane.
Yeah,
They were explaining it.
It was so absurd. But I felt like I was going insane whenever Pete Wentz was just there, and then Samuel L. Jackson was also just there, which I guess, sure, the music video ended up just becoming promo for the movie. I was not expecting to recognize anyone outside of Samuel L. Jackson during the entire runtime, and then I just...
Well, okay. Let me throw in a non sequitur to shake things up a bit here. Once again, because I like doing this whenever we do kind of horror adjacent or just straight up horror movies, and I think this is horror adjacent. So I want to again take a page out of the page of James A. Janice and throw it out to the crowd and ask, what is your guys' golden chainsaw and dull machete for this movie for best and worst kill, coolest and lamest kill, respectively? Because I have the one that made me wince the most, and it may not be the one you think it is.
My favorite kill was not a snake, but it was the lady. It was the guy that was getting like trampled, and then the lady's like heel gets stuck
That's
in
what
his
I was gonna
ear
say.
and like snaps off. Oh, okay.
That's what I was.
That
gonna
is
say,
definitely my
actually.
favorite.
I mean, probably. I don't know. Probably the anaconda, like the guy getting, swallowed by the anaconda, which would never happen that fast. But whatever movie. I think that's mine, or maybe just the guy getting bit on his. I think that's hilarious.
Well, of course, Marquise would take note of that one.
Okay. I could have said the other one, but
Okay, for me, the anaconda death doesn't work because I didn't feel satisfied with how that man died.
Yeah, because he was a big jerk.
I didn't. No, he killed. As soon as he killed the dog with it. First off,
Yeah.
However, it never felt like it was a. It didn't give me satisfaction that he was killed immediately after.
There should have been like a scene where he like. It doesn't feel satisfying because it's not really his fault. He's just kind of standing there when the anaconda shows up. It needed to have been like. There needed to have been like somehow him throwing the dog and or pushing like a direct action that he does is what leads to him being in the path of the anaconda or something. Like maybe he like pushes somebody because he's like, it's safer over here. I'm gonna stand here. Get out of my way. And then that ends up being exactly where the anaconda like falls through the ceiling or something. Again, he needs to be more like it needs to be more of like my comeuppance or something.
I think
They didn't
what's
give us
funny
enough.
about that guy is that as soon as he was introduced, I was like, well, I wonder who's dying. This is like I like you can tell like he's specifically set up to be like the that like you want to die. And there's so many of that like archetype in this movie.
The moment that I saw the horny couple, I was like, oh, okay, they're gone.
I was what about, I feel like my dull machete for lamest kill is probably just like the first pilot or any of just the nameless unimportant characters that just get bitten by snakes and we don't really know who they are.
I think that the first couple to die in the bathroom is like that just felt so lame. Think about it. She's naked in that scene, so that's clearly not from the PG-13 version of the movie, right? So you're telling me they did reshoots to film that? And it's just it feels like you just want a naked lady in the movie.
I think the dull machete was the second pilot
Todd
because he
Packer,
was an important. Yeah.
the sexist guy.
Yeah, office dude. Yeah. He didn't get
Which
because it
one?
was off screen.
Oh yeah, they just opened the door.
Fell through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
I
he was a major character. So
agree.
No, he didn't die though, right? He like
No, he died.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he
He
did.
died.
He did. So wait. So
No,
they faked out-
okay. So you're thinking about the fake out the first time around when he gets bit by one of the smaller things like on his arm, and then they do like a tourniquet, but then he actually dies later on towards the end, which is why Keenan had to put his 1,000 hours of PlayStation 2 experience into.
Did they?
into
I thought
PSP.
I thought they did a second
Oh,
fake
sorry.
out. No, okay, whatever. I guess he does die. Sure.
he does eventually die.
Okay.
For sure.
Thank God.
I also no. I'm glad you mentioned the Keenan thing because I was so mad about how they delivered that joke. Because as soon as Triple G goes, "You can do it, bro," I was like, "Oh, it's because he plays a lot of video games, right? That's why he can land the plane." And then they like
It was
don't do that.
2006. What did you expect?
No. But then they don't do that. And then when he's talking to the radio, and it's just like, yeah, I've flown a lot of planes, and he starts naming warplanes. I'm like, I feel like it was like a little late to tell that joke. I think the perfect time for that joke would have been, like right after they mention it.
I did appreciate, I did appreciate how subtly it was set up throughout the movie. Because he's playing video games, and he's like, "Oh man,
Yeah,
I almost beat this level."
Like when his gamer rage was a jump scare.
His gamer rage.
Did the movie genuinely expect me to think that he was an actual pilot?
What do you think? Black people can't be pilots, Marquise?
Yes.
No, they can't. I
You
would
got
not
him
trust
one.
the black pilot. I'm joking. I am joking.
Are you?
Okay, Marquise, I'm gonna say, okay, I don't agree with what you just said. However, I do agree with you on the joke should have been delivered earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
like-
you were
like
going
the
to say that you
funny
agree
thing
with him.
You heard it
No,
here first. You
that's
heard it
why I
here
pushed-
first, folks. Dayton agrees with everything Marquisha said wholeheartedly, with his
Yeah,
with his
Agree
whole
that the
chest.
joke should have been delivered earlier, not about the pilot stuff.
I think it would have been funnier if Samuel L. Jackson had to get on the comm and adamantly defended this guy who he clearly was like, he like played a video game, but he's the best one we got. He's the best chance we got. It would have been funnier if he was him trying to defend it and not him saying, "Oh, I learned it in a video game."
Yeah, like I don't like why'd you wait so long for that delayed punchline? Because like, did you genuinely expect me to think that this random like bodyguard knows how to fly a plane? No,
Hey,
like
man,
I
you
don't.
never know. You never know what Triple G's. I mean, that's the life of a star, man.
I just want to also go ahead and add, they could have easily put in a reference to Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of Seth and just had one of them say another happy landing when they practically crash landed the plane at the end. And I think it would have helped my enjoyment anyways.
I'm sorry. I'm disappointed that they didn't crash the plane at the end. I'm disappointed they did not.
They really should have. It could have been a
should
nice
have
big
what,
set
into, like,
piece.
the airport?
Granted, it was going to be 2006 CGI.
Like a warehouse where like it didn't like it's clear that nobody
Something.
like everyone dies out, like anyone inside dies out, but it's like it kind of, but it like the warehouse kind of like stops the momentum.
Like I don't know, they could have easily set it up to like, oh, we don't have quite enough fuel to make it all the way back to the airport, so we're somewhere like isolated that we can go ahead and do a crash landing at or whatever.
Okay, so let me ask something then, because this is all for all three of you. This is the first time you've seen this movie. With the reputation, however big or small it had before you went into it, do you feel like in your first sort of viewing experience, does this movie live up to the hype? Marquise?
I mean, yes. I didn't expect it to be like this movie is infamous. It's infamously bad. So I didn't expect it to be good. I guess it's like I said, like this is one of these movies like you have to take your film cap off, because if you try to like actually watch this movie with like any sort of genuine attempt to like make movies, I guess it's just not good, right? So, but if you want to turn your brain off and like laugh at, oh, bro just got bit on his penis, that's so funny, then yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's an okay.
Is that what you were thinking when you watched the movie?
I was like, you know what I thought? I was like,
What was that Looney Tunes scream?
Oh my goodness.
I just think it was like I was like, I wonder why the snake went specifically for her nipple.
I found it so weird how obsessed the snake seemed to be with people's genitals.
Yeah.
Because it kept happening. It wasn't just like it wasn't just a once-off thing. The guy that went to go piss in the bathroom later on also got bit in the dick.
Yeah.
That one snake that went up the old lady's clothes.
Dress, yeah.
As well. It just
This movie's so horny. That's what it is. This is a very horny
unreasonably
movie.
so.
I will say this. I think it's an incredibly brave choice by the part of the production team. Genuinely a brave choice. Because think about it, the whole premise of this movie hinges on him testifying in court. And what's his name? Who's the criminal?
James McAvoy.
Johnny Salami?
Eddie Kim.
Okay.
Johnny Storm.
They need to get Eddie Kim put away, right? And I think it's actually a super brave move on the part of the production team to literally not actually show that entire arc wrapping up at all on camera. You know, we don't see the court, we don't see him getting put away, we don't see him getting put into a police officer. What a brave move by the production team to literally not show the conclusion to the entire premise of the movie.
The movie literally ends with such a nice callback to Samuel L. Jackson wanting to surfboard.
He didn't want to surfboard.
Who cares about that other stuff?
If you were at real Snakes on a Plane head, you would know that Sammy J sucks at surfing, and that he prefers to spend time on the beach.
He was learning. He's learning. You know, like what's the first thing? What's the first thing Samuel L. Jackson said to Guy when they met?
I forgot.
Hey, man.
Do as I say, and you live.
Yeah, which was a introduction, by the way, to that character. Because my first thought was, because he sees the thing happen, he gets away. He's on the news like, oh, the thing that I just watched happen is public, and the criminals just show up at his doorstep. Like, how'd they even know he was there? Like, who he was? He was like, they didn't see him. Well, they saw him, but like they didn't see him.
See, this is the movie commenting on the state of the surveillance government that we live on in the modern day. This was them commenting on Bush's. Oh, what was his?
The Patriot Act.
What was that act? Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
That was the movie commenting on that.
Oh, okay, I understand. I think back what I said then.
It was before your time, Marquise. It was a different time.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, I think this movie lived past the hype for me.
It exceeded your expectations.
Because it exceeded my expectations because I literally thought the rest it would be.
How low were your
Gross.
expectations?
My expectations were the line's gonna happen. The rest of the movie, they are just shooting snakes on a plane. That is
And I would've
all I thought was
respected it
gonna
more.
happen.
It's not very
I
far off from.
more for that.
There is more because Samuel Jackson had a fake out shooting of Cole
Yeah, what did you
from
guys think of that
Infamous.
fake out
Cole from Infamous got shot by him.
I was
The
like,
content from
I was
DMC.
like, because genuinely, I thought that he was just gonna get shot by the. He was just gonna shoot the snake, and the guy was gonna live. I was like, no, like if you were to shoot a snake that bit somebody, that bullet is going through the snake and killing that person. But then it's like he's wearing a bulletproof vest, right? So it's like, sure, whatever. But I genuinely thought for a second this movie was gonna be like, well, no, he's fine. Like he shot the snake, not him. I was suspension of disbelief.
I thought
I
it
was
was
fully willing.
a traitor.
Go ahead, Zane. Sorry.
I thought he was the traitor. I thought he was the whole plan was his to like a really crappy long-winded plan to get the witness dead.
Yeah, no, I was kind of in the same ballpark of like I was fully just like I think I was also just done with the movie, so I was like, oh hey, a twist, cool, something.
What I really thought, what I thought was gonna happen is like, why are you guys lingering on the plane with snakes? How about let's get off the plane and then have a moment. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh no, they're gonna do this thing where
No, Marquise, all
damn-
the snakes were gone at that point because they fucking vacuum sucked them all out when they shot the windows out.
Did they just drop
I'm
a
not
bunch
even
of
gonna
snakes
talk
into the
about.
ocean?
I'm not gonna talk about the
I think
science
so.
or the stupidity of that scene for my mental health.
No, you
But
should
I was
talk
like,
about
oh,
that.
None of none of the flight
Let me
attendants were
finish my
strapped out
thought.
for that for some
let me
stupid
finish.
reason.
Let me finish my thought.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I was gonna say, I thought Samuel L. Jackson was gonna have to like jump and take the quote unquote metaphorical snake bullet for the guy and then die while he is able to like witness this. That's what I thought was gonna happen, and then we had like a surprise snake jump, and then the thing. That's what I thought was gonna
Yeah, but the thing is, it diverted your expectations. It
Oh
just
yeah, it diverted a lot of things.
subverted them. Subverted.
But yeah, the scene where like they create a hole in the side of the plane was fucking genius.
Yeah, they all would have lived.
Well, okay, but here's the thing, Marquise. Here's the thing. Those snakes were on the plane.
and then they were off the plane.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine that they were over land when they shot that out, so that like just snakes are raining down on people instead of
downtown
yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to point out, I don't think there were enough people on this plane for as fucking huge as it was.
No.
It had
They
two
acknowledge
stories.
that. They acknowledge that.
Two stories.
Nervous husband is
No,
like,
no,
why aren't there
no,
this
no,
many people
no,
on the
no.
plane?
No. Austin,
no.
there was nowhere near enough people because they also went on ahead. Like, the original flight was going to be fucking desolate. Like, it was going to be empty because they kicked everyone that was in first class out of there and put them all into the, like, business area. And there was still so many empty seats. It was absurd how empty that flight was going to be.
Yeah, but no, they
Yeah,
acknowledge
and then
it.
sure, they mention
it's a red
they
eye.
acknowledge it, but in no in no universe are you flying a plane that big for so little people. There are smaller planes.
Let's pour one out for the lady who saved the baby and the mother.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
So
we're
she
not-
was
we're
like,
not-
"I'm 1 month from retirement." She was a real one.
This was just
And also,
tropes,
like,
the
oh,
movie.
he's giving it to her good. Must have not been that good. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
This time.
This might be the most exhausted any discussion has ever made me.
Oh my god, wait. I found it insane that the little kid stayed alive for as long as he did after getting bit when full-grown adults that were like 3 times his body mass were
but
dying
they
like
also
immediately.
explain it. They also explain
I
it.
said it.
They also explain that in the movie because they're like, there's so many different kinds of snakes. Some of them could kill you in 7 hours. Some of them could kill you instantly, and some of them you could sleep them off. So, checkmate, liberal.
It's still a significantly smaller body mass to work through.
But you know, it was a beautiful. It's about the emotion of the story, right? Because it was about 2 brothers doing something.
Yeah, and we really needed the line of was it Keenan or was it the other?
He gets bit on his butt, and then the lady sucks out the venom, which you should never do, from what I understand. I don't think sucking out venom is like a real safe method of handling these sorts of situations.
Not really, because you have a lot of bacteria in your mouth that can get into the wound, and also you basically almost always have some kind of cut somewhere along your tract where the venom would be going into. So it's not safe for either party.
Well, that's why she put the olive oil in her mouth, though.
Marquise, I'm gonna shoot you.
That's what. I want to shoot the film. Whoever wrote this movie and thought, "Hey, yo, I'm cooking." I want to shoot them. I want to shoot that person.
Did you hear that writer, creator of this movie? Marquise is gonna shoot you.
He's literally,
Watch out!
genuinely threatening a person over a movie.
30
He has gone
30
insane.
Hollywood studios turned down this movie. I wonder freaking why.
You know,
I-
I'm
Okay.
also
Fools.
wondering that because I'm really
Why
not
not?
sure.
Do you want to know
Good
something?
question, Marquise.
You want to know something? The studio, I think it was Paramount who first accepted this, genuinely did not believe they had Samuel L. Jackson signed on. They were like, there's no way he signed on. So they contacted his agent. He's like, yeah, he's on. It's like, what?
Because he
Snakes
didn't
on a
read the
plane.
script. He didn't read the
Oh,
script.
fiction
It's
guy.
snakes on the motherfucking plane. That's what. You know what? That's what the movie delivered. End of story. That's what the movie delivered. Snakes on a plane.
That's what America's about.
I think we need a spin-off of Dog Lady.
Badgers on
Oh.
a train.
Dog, how? Listen, bro. If you get on 2 planes in your lifetime and there are snakes on the plane, don't ever fly again, bro.
Okay.
Don't ever-
Hold on.
I think they need to make Snakes on a Plane too and change pretty much nothing.
They should make Snakes on a Plane Chew, and everybody's like,
You feel proud of about that
All right. Oh, you know what? Rack it up, Austin. I'm done. I'm done.
one? We're not even an hour in.
You know all those security scenarios we ran? Well, I'm smack in the middle of one we didn't think of.
okay, well, let's start bringing it home here. And so, what I'll ask all of you, and I'm not too certain what the answer might be. judging on what I've heard, but would you guys recommend Snakes on a Plane to people? We'll start with Dayton. He's at a loss for words.
I don't know.
You don't know. It's a yes or no
I
question.
genuinely don't know. There's the third answer. I don't know.
Snake to your head. Would you recommend Snakes
I don't know
on
if
a
it's
Plane?
even like. No.
He's not sure. No. Okay.
I genuinely don't know. I don't know if it's good enough to be so bad it's good. I don't know if it's bad enough for that. I don't know if it's good enough to be like I don't know if it's funny enough. But I'm like, I had a good time. I had a fun time.
I think you're wrong. Only in the context of getting with friends and taking the absolute piss out of this movie. I would also probably recommend getting drunk or high. You know, your prerogative. I don't really care. Do what you want. That's the only context that I could feel comfortable recommending the movie in. Outside of that, it's not good enough for like watching on your own. I suffered. I felt a similar amount of pain watching this movie as I did watching most of the Cage-a-thon.
Oh yes, you've been watching every single Nicolas Cage movie.
And I'm gonna be putting those videos out someday.
I firmly believe that every movie has an audience. You know, Emilio Perez had an audience.
Whoa.
Right? The worst movie you could think of had an audience, right? Even Birth of a Nation had an audience.
Oh no! I don't want any.
Marquise's audience.
I cannot, in good faith, recommend this movie to anyone. But you know what? If you are a teenage boy from ages 13 to 20, and you want like a good laugh, sure, go watch this movie.
I feel like he's about.
If you want to sit down and actually watch if you want to watch like a real movie, I'm not telling you to watch this bullshit. I'm not.
I want to take
No,
the
because-
snobbiest film person I know and force them to sit through this.
Bro, I can't. Bro, I would never. If I was not doing this podcast, I would have turned it off. I would have turned it off. I'm not. I cannot. I can't recommend this movie.
Hey, you want to know something I could say about this movie? I did not look at my phone while I was watching.
I almost did. A couple of times.
That's maybe the
I
most
watched the
glowing
full thing, guys.
anyone's ever said any about it.
Ooh.
I watched-
Hey everybody!
I watched
No,
the
hey,
whole
hey,
movie.
hey! Let's think about this. Marquise
Hey,
didn't even finish.
That's a big
Citizen
improvement.
Marquise,
Wait,
you found
does
out
this
before-
mean that on the Wait, does this mean that for Marquise, Snakes on a Plane is better than Citizen Kane?
That might mean.
No, it does
That
not.
might mean. That might be.
No,
the case.
that's
Actions speak louder.
No,
than
it's
words,
not.
Marquise.
Yeah,
But
exactly,
no, but
Marquise.
somebody
I'm
that's-
sorry.
no,
I'm sorry to
dude,
say.
I wanted to know.
Here's the thing: is that if somebody had
know.
beforehand spoiled that there were going to be snakes on the plane, he would have just been like, "Nah, I'm just going to watch a video essay." Would I recommend this movie? That's a great question.
Hey, no, let me ask the question. Austin, would you... to go ahead and throw it back to Austin, would you recommend this to someone?
You know, I think I love B movies. I love corny B movies, and I love watching really bad schlock straight to VHS stuff. We've watched some of it on our own times, and sometimes I feel like I'm the only person having any fun. But that's just what I am. I love hilarious, corny action movies that always stick the landing. And I think if you are that kind of a person, if you are the person that is always seeking out the best of the worst and has not seen this movie somehow, I think you should check it out, especially with a group of people. I think this is a movie that is begging to be seen by a group of friends that love schlock, and so if you're that kind of a person, for sure check this out. Alternatively, if you are well-adjusted in pretty much any regard, maybe not. Maybe this is not the movie for you, and you should go do almost anything else with your time.
Do as I say, and you live.
But I think on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this primary discussion up. Yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.
I don't love you.